So hello fellow banknote collectors, and in today's video we're going to be looking at the last £1 banknote that was issued by Australia before we changed over to decimal currency in 1966 on the 14th of February. So as you can see, this is quite a large note if I compare it with a $20. So then you can see the size of the banknote. And this one had a value or equivalent purchasing power of 1953 of about $37. So you're talking about $40 roughly. And in a few years it will have gotten up to that value. But in 1966 it's probably equivalent to $20 roughly. But we'll have a look and we'll see what these could purchase back in 1953 and 1966. So as you can see, we've got the coat of arms. We have Queen Elizabeth II, and that's the same image that's on the later coins. Then we have watermark, which is Captain Cook. There's also another watermark down below, £1, where the signatures are. So if your banknote doesn't have this watermark, then it's either a fake or it could be an error. I wouldn't discount it. But this one doesn't have a security thread like all the pre-decimal banknotes. They came in with the decimal notes. And on the back we have Charles Sturt and Hamilton Hume. So has their birth date. And James Cook Endeavour, £1. So you can find information about these two on Wikipedia. Very good website. It's also a lot of other websites that have information. There's a watermark again. So this one is quite a nice banknote. I see that the minimum these sell for is $15. So the size is this way. It is 81 millimeters, and this way it is 156 millimeters. Give or take, there's probably some slight variation in both of the measurements because sometimes I do make mistakes. So if we look at prefixes you should be looking for. So this one is a 1953 to 60, has Commonwealth of Australia. That's the first thing you need to know when looking for these banknotes, because some of them have Reserve Bank of Australia, and they were printed between 61 and 65. And there's another thing you can look for to check when it was issued. So this is HB 63. So as you can see, HA to HF was the first print. So this one's HB, so the second run. So this is more closer to the 1953 period of issuance. And another thing is that this is nearly close to being a radar. So radar would have 175571 or 173371. Just those two numbers in the middle. It would have been more collectible, and you would have commanded a lot higher value. So with these banknotes you do get star notes. So we have they start from HA90 to HE92. So I'm not too sure. I haven't really looked into star notes. Maybe they just use the 90s for these banknotes. So 1999. So that we need to look up. We'll look up star notes on eBay and see what prefixes they have. Then we have the 61 to 66. So they start from HF 65. You can see both of these. Last and first prefix are HF 65. So it depends on when the cutoff is. If it's pretty much 50%, then it should be similar values or equivalent values. But if there's like more with the Reserve Bank and less with the Commonwealth Bank, or the other way around, then the one with less should have a higher value. And if we look at the Renix catalogue, which I'm not going to show you because you should buy it yourself, HE65, HF65. No, they have the same values for both of the Commonwealth Bank and Reserve Bank of Australia. And we have the star notes as well. So HE80 to HE94. So maybe this is 80s and 90s print run. But as you can see, the print run of star notes looks like it might be a lot lower. So that's about 14 million. And this one is, so just say they use the 90s. So we've got 10. I got 1 million. Yeah, 10 million. 10, 20. A, B, C, D, E. So you got 50 million printed. And that's just off my head. So you got 14 and 50 million. I'd say it's probably a bit more complicated than that. So that's something you need to look for. So also with the 60 to 66, I'm not going to show in this video, is do have two backs. So you've got the emerald green, which is a light green, and that's not dark. What the hell's dark? Dark green. Could be the Drach on Babylon 5. So, and let's have a look at this. To me, that looks like a dark green back. So this is first print run, so they should all be dark green. The Renix catalogue has a light green one. Definitely looks different than that. So anyway, that's another thing you need to look for. Dark green and light green, because I think the emerald one is a lot less value. Yeah, the dark green one has more value with the 61 to 66 prefixes. So for a one closer to the first prefix, 1953 to 2020, £1 is equivalent to $37. So if you wanted to match the inflation, that's what you'd need to command for your banknote. So we're talking about this one here. So HB, you need to be able to get at least $40 for it to be equivalent to inflation. But I actually got this one for $15, so keeping these in from 1953, 54 is really not worth it. But if you kept it from 1965, so this doesn't allow you to do input 1966, you need to go to the decimal one. Do 2020, talking about $28.50, roughly about $30. So that's more than 10 times the exchange rate value. So you need, if you kept this in 1966, you need to get at least $30 to make your money back. But as I said, I got this for $15. So pretty much inflation is eating its value. And this is what I say about banknotes. Even these pre-decimal ones were not worth keeping at the time in this condition. If you wanted to get your money back, you probably need a very fine, extremely fine condition. So that means it's a very crisp banknote. It doesn't have the folds, too many folds. So I'll place this one probably as fine condition, because if we look at it, it's also quite dirty. If I take it out of this cover, you can see, does it have any pink? Oh, maybe that is very fine. Anyway, I'll let you make a judgment on the quality of the banknote. So here we have some banknotes. So most of these are in the condition that I have, so in pretty circulated condition. So we've got $32. If you don't know the postage, then you need to take the postage off the actual banknote to see what you actually get for the banknote. But you know, $30. This one is 43. So let's have a look at the quality of the banknote. Yeah, that looks okay. Probably EF, but it's a bit hard with the photos because Looks like there's just so much. Yeah, you need a background that is black. So I can see a cut off there, but it's or a cut off there. It's actually a bit hard to tell. But it looks nice. If you look on the back, it's a lot easier to tell the quality. So this is a higher quality than mine, but 43. So that's equivalent. It's probably AF condition. You're probably talking about. It has a catalog value of $90, so yeah, about 40, 45 is probably the current price. So then you have this one that sold for, how much did that sell for? $30 plus postage. So this one, yeah, it looks got stains on it. So $30 is close to the first prefix. So it's quite an old banknote, but it's not going to match inflation. Then you've got stains here. Yeah, so $30 for a condition of that. The lowest I've ever seen them sell is $20. Okay, so here we have two that sold for $50. Looks like a good price. So you got Reserve Bank of Australia, you got Commonwealth Bank of Australia. As you can see, the position also moved as well, but the rest of the banknotes pretty much the same. So $25 for those. If we look at the back, so here we have the emerald green, and this is the dark green. So you can see the darkness up top. This one's a bit light. No. Sorry, I'm a bit confused. This is the emerald green. That's the dark green. And emerald green, dark green. Oh, it's a little bit confusing. That is. I haven't researched this, as I said, so I will do some research on it, because you can't really know everything about coins and banknotes. You can only take an area and specialize in that area. If you don't do that, then pretty much you're taxing yourself. It's like a geologist. They all specialize in certain areas. So you have those that specialize in igneous geology, those in sedimentary, those in paleontology, and usually if you do a report and that overlaps with you need a mathematician, obviously you get someone in that's specialized. So, and that's where PCGS, someone says that they have more knowledge than me or you. Yeah, but what you're thinking about is that PCGS has a knowledge of probably a few hundred people, but me being one person only has knowledge of a certain amount of things. So that's where I limited. And that's why all the YouTube channels need to, if they all specialize in the one thing, then it's probably not going to be good. But if they all specialize in a different area, then that would be an accumulation of knowledge. So I'll make another video on this anyway. So that $50, I definitely would have got that. And then we got another one. Is there any star notes? So we'll have a look in a minute. This one is extremely fine, it says. So let's have a look. Yeah, it has 1, 2, 3. I'd say pretty light folds. Apart from that, it's pretty crisp. Yeah, so I'll say that's EF. This is an EF condition that you want to get. And how much did that sell for? $58. Catalog values are $90. So the other banknote I said before was EF, is probably VF. So my one's probably in fine. And this one is the Commonwealth Bank HB, 76,134,192. So here's what I mean by a star note. It has a star at the end of the last number. So this is 89, and that is Reserve Bank. Yeah, so 80 to 94. So that, yeah, I would say they'd probably go from 80 to 94. So there are no probably banknotes in general prefix between 89 and 94. That's what I'm thinking, but that needs to be researched. Here you go. This one's choice uncirculated. So this one, H Reserve Bank, so HE24. This one, does it say anything about the background? Looks like emerald. So that has general prefix is lower value for the star notes. So choice uncirculated has 8,500 in the actual catalogue. So how much are they selling this for? 16,000. So that is quite a high value for these banknotes. So yeah, emerald green 82 to 93. So this is 80, not 81 to 93. So that's an emerald green banknote there. So when it's dark up the top here, that's when it is classed as a dark banknote. So let's have a look at another one. As you can see, there's quite a few. Have a look at the prices. You got 2,500, 12,000. So these are a very expensive banknote. If you're going to get one, this is probably the cheapest you're going to get. So have a look. That's in fine condition. So, and even then, I reckon that's probably only half the catalogue value. And then we have some other star notes. We've got some other banknotes in here. So these are not stars. Replacement 35. So these are very fine. HE 85. Yeah, so that one. So that's about 2,500 Australian. So anyway, that's where I will conclude the video session. So these banknotes, what you need to get is probably higher grade if you want it to retain its value and go up in value. So these ones are probably the minimal you get. This is pretty much fine grade. So if you get EF, almost uncirculated, yeah, it's going to cost you a bit of money, but I reckon that they would keep the value because the market is pretty much tanked now. Anyway, here I'll leave the video, I'll leave some links down below to eBay. Have an awesome coin and banknote collect time. Thank you.